a Simpson manifold. Plan is, I've machined this and basically blobbed it in, made my own lowering blocks. There's the badger. Another day, another video, and for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you'd have seen that I've actually sold the Mark III Escort. It has now gone. It's gone to a good home. Chrissy bought it from up north, and he's already actually converted it into a pretty good-looking Series 1 rep. I know I said I wouldn't do it, but obviously he bought the shell with the intention of doing it. It was a pretty good shell to do that with, to be fair. It's the right colour, the right amount of doors. I evaluated it. It was a proper squeeze in the workshop with that, and I just realistically, with time constraints and lack of funds, I was just never gonna get around to doing it. So I sold that to free up a bit of cash, and I now want to concentrate on the angle box. So those of you who know the Anglia, in previous videos we've been using it a bit for scooting around, doing some family weddings in. Has a big issue with overheating. So I've actually tapped up Neil from 105 Speed, and he's hooked me up with a radiator. Does a really neat radiator kit, so I'll be fitting that in this video, along with an electric fan, just to modernise the cooling system on it. Started buying some parts for it. Basically, I want to keep this looking as it is, because this is a sweet looking little car, and I do feel Anglias, they don't need a lot to make them look cool. I've obviously gone through ruining the Fiesta with big arches and wide wheels. This thing I want to keep looking classy. I want to keep it looking like it's from the 60s. So yeah, just want to keep it looking period correct on the outside, really. I am going to lower it. I bought some 2-inch lowering blocks. I don't know if they're going to be low enough. I'd like to try and avoid doing single leaf decambered springs on the back. I actually went over to see Matt Parker, and he had some little wide steels for me. And whilst I was there, I also checked out his awesome rear-wheel drive Mark 1 Fiesta. Let's cut to that sweet content. Get yourself in a lot of trouble in this.
And it doesn't just drive like a normal car, apart from obviously being noisy.
I don't think this is noisy. I think this is just right. I'm actually really surprised with how well it pulls.
Yeah, it's really quick. And it since that engine, like I said, the other engine was a built engine, but for some reason, it's a scrapyard engine just goes.
Yeah.
Well worn in, I suppose.
I like the gauges that are in it. They're
Yeah,
quite
so I've got them in my Mark III.
Yeah.
And
Are they just like kit car sort of thing?
Yeah, just off eBay, yeah. Like 160 quid, I think that. Come with all the sensors and that will work with them as well. You've got to tell them what car you're running. Is it a Ford? Is it a thing or what, you know?
Yeah, they've got like all the indicators flashing up as well.
Two litres easy. Rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, so it's a standard engine. You got cams in it or anything?
Just literally a 2 litre E-Tech from the scrapyard, 200 quid.
Wicked. And then the hot rods, it's like Omex, but it's
Omex ECU, but it's Briscar
spec.
so
Yeah.
it's 164
Limited.
brakes.
Yeah.
But there's no limit on it, so yeah, you can get 8 grand out of it easy.
This is wicked.
Which you don't like.
So you say this hasn't got an Escort pedal box in it, or is it like a Mark II Escort pedal box?
Mark II Fiesta.
But the master cylinders are through the bulkhead.
clutch cable.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Clutch cable and like it's got a Willwood
Little dinky master cylinder like Dino's. Yeah.
One way out, one in, one out sort of thing. And then there's a little T piece under the dash here,
Yeah.
which then goes down to the bias valve, hydro handbrake, to the rear brakes.
Has it got discs on the back or still running drums? I don't think, because there's like no weight in the back, I don't think you need discs on the back of this.
No.
Yeah, so he's obviously cut like the original where the shocks would have gone on the back of the axle, the front wheel drive axle. And he's had to weld in new turret towers for the, are they coilovers in there on this? They'd be like escort coilovers, I assume. And then you got 4-link bars, which would be escort 4 links, and then the tunnel, simple as that. And then I've seen that people have to cut about for the diff bulge in the boot.
But he's raised all that, the whole thing's been raised, isn't it?
Yeah, like the little swaged holes along the back plate. Yeah, simple as that. And then you can go sideways in a Fiesta. Oh, so it's picking up on the original Fiesta panhard rod mount.
That rod we had to...
Yeah, I've seen you tweaked it a bit.
We had to weld it.
Oh really? Oh yeah, I think I saw on Marcus's video you had the rose joints were rattling.
Vibration, total.
Just zap them up, blob them in. That is quality. Yeah, so he's welded up the holes where the original steering arms would go through, and he's obviously done the old box section chassis rails. But I do like the little towers that he's made to pick up on the World Cup cross member.
So under that cross member, before it bolts to the car, there's a, I'd say probably 1.5 inch big thick steel spacer.
Yeah, to knock it
down
down
a bit,
yeah.
so the engine's not so high.
And then you obviously cut the bottom, or the whole bulkhead out. You cut the bottom off where the original steering rack was.
Yeah, and then
it's got a nice little cheeky exhaust tunnel. Yeah, this is cool.
Which makes a good footrest.
Footrest, well. Yeah, I've had my foot on there. That was my imaginary brake pedal. So there's Type 9 gearbox. There's the diesel box though with the better ratios.
Diesel box with a high, lower ratio, but the shafts on them are like the V6 ones, are much longer. So we had to cut it and machine it down on the lathe. That took some doing.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Me and Dean did that, and it was. But in the end, we got it perfect to a 2-litre size shaft with the spline, and it went straight in. And to be fair, it's a better box than a 2-litre box.
Yeah. And it's got 45s from Mike Engineering now.
Yeah, brand new ones.
Big banana Simpson manifold and side exit, which comes down here. Do love a side exit. Yes. And that's just a Mark 1 Fiesta rad, like a alley rad.
But with 2 fans as well, it just
that keeps it cool.
Yeah, on the motorways it doesn't go over 40, and then if you're in traffic, just whack the switch on and both of them come in and keeps it nice. I did have to make a bonnet clip, so when it's height of summer,
you can knock it up,
you
get some heat out.
You push that into it and raise it because the heat from the exhaust was just getting into the carbs. I've had to make a hole there to get cold air into it because the heat was just coming over and making it stall.
It's all escort bits, escort front legs, is it? Or do you have the Capri ones?
They're Capri front legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Capri.
Quick rack.
Quick rack. Track control, short track control arms. Yeah.
Job done. And then Anglia axle on the back with a diff in it.
Anglia axle, 5-link panhard. Yeah. It's got a 375 Salisbury plated in it. And as you know, it goes around in circles quite well.
On the spot. Yeah, this is cool. I really didn't need to come over and go out in this because this has got my... I put to bed the thought of rear-wheel drive in mind, but this has just livened it up again. Yeah, so Matt hooked me up with these, and I put some little Nankang 17550s for the South London look. Oh yeah. Plan is, I want to run the standard chrome hubcaps that I've got, and I also want to try and utilise the original trim rings. However, they don't fit. So the plan is... I've machined this at work to clamp it. I'm actually going to jack the bad boy up, slap that on, and we're going to just trim it off like a big, dangerous 997cc lathe so that I can then fit these trim rings in the wide steels. Neil from 105 Speed and Milton also put me in touch with a guy called John, who is a legend in the Anglia scene, and he's hooked me up with a pair of Mark II Cortina front legs. So these are going to be sent off to be converted to coilovers, and then I can run some period or better brakes, twin vented maybe, or Princess 4-pot calipers on the front, so it'll actually stop. That's why I've gone for the 6s, because I know the Mark II Cortina front legs stick out a little bit more than normal. I have tried the 6s on the back, and I do feel that they're far too tucked in. So I am on the lookout for another pair of those style steels, but obviously in the 7s, so I can run 7s on the back, 6s on the front. So out came the old radiator. Kit comes with everything you need, so fan, thermostat switch. You can see the inside of my old rad was all gummed up. I had it cleaned many years ago, but I think this is way beyond repair. Full of sludge. You're never gonna get any coolant through there, Mike. And this is the fresh new one from 105 speed. Obviously ran the engine up, got the pressure washer through it to try and clear out some more of the rusty gunge, whilst giving the car a little wash with little man. So I'm gonna put a fresh fan switch in the 105 speed new radiator. Wang that in and we can get this back in the car. So the kit comes with this fan. I'm just going to offer it up in the car because this obviously goes in the hole, and I want to make sure that I can position this in the right spot so that it fits in like the weird little funnel front mouth of the Anglia properly. I want it to kind of be in the right spot before I mess up these nice new fins. So I offered it up in the car. This fan is actually really tight in the hole.
That's what she said.
So I've just marked the bottom of the sort of opening and the top with a bit of masking tape, centered it, and then you get these fan fitting zip tie things, so I'm going to bang them on. Let's slam dunk it in. Just going to take the original bent bit of butter knife off for the front fan so I can actually get this in now. It's got the electric fan on the front. Just wang the jubblies up. Nice. Got the Ribena. Or is this Vimto? This looks more like Vimto, to be fair. So that's the new rad, all fitted, fan up and running. It's actually running a bit cold now. I'm gonna have to put another thermostat back in it. But yeah, once the car's back on its wheels and I've sorted all the brakes out, we can take it for a drive and make sure that it's all cooling as it should, but I think it's going to work. Yeah, I know I said I wasn't going to mess around with the interior too much, but one of the things I did want to try and do was switch out the steering wheel. I do love the original steering wheels, however I've got a real thing for these Cortina steering wheels, which fit on the same splined boss. My plan is, there's a couple of cracks which I'm going to chemical metal, apparently is the right stuff for this kind of Bakelite stuff, sand it off, use some high adhesion paint to match the grey, to get it all in a nice grey, and I'm going to remake the centre to have something funky in the middle. And then yeah, I've still got a big thin steering wheel, still looks period, still looks retro, but it's got 3 spokes, and I think I just prefer that aesthetic. Don't you just love retro fitted seatbelts? Crunchy. Hang on, buddy, look, check this out. We had a big accident. I reckon you could just pull that through the floor. All it's at. Hello. Also, with my little helper, managed to take out the seats, rip out the sound deadening in the carpets just to assess the floor, because it's the first time I've really had a good look at this car. But yeah, there's some other weird repairs that I found as a result of taking the carpet out. All of this is just going to have to go on the list of things that need attention, and I want to do it all properly. But overall, it's not bad. I've seen a lot worse. You've got a couple of weird repairs up in here. They've just kind of plated over the rust. The seals are pretty solid. There's all the jacking points need attention. I'll take these out and have a good look behind here, and we'll go from there. So yeah, that's something in a future video. Full restoration needed. Right, so all of the drum brakes were seized on, so I freed up the fronts. I did put new brake cylinders on the back, even after eBay did an awesome job of sending me the wrong ones. Got the right ones. Yeah, swapped them out, so we've got fresh brake cylinders on the back. Give it all a good clean up with the help of my little helpers. And then I bought these 2-inch lowering blocks, and I offered them up, put them on Instagram.
What's this, Daddy?
Careful with that, buddy. It's sharp. And you guys said they wouldn't be low enough, and I haven't even tried them on. Instead, I thought I'd just bite the bullet, and I set myself up some laser cut 3mm steel bits, and basically blobbed it in, made my own lowering blocks. I haven't welded the tops on though, however, because Steve Goldsmith's pointed out I might need to adjust the diff angle. So I'm not going to weld the tops on just yet. I'm going to offer it all up, get it onto the ride height on the floor where I want it, and I might shave the top to like a 2-degree angle depending on where the diff ends up, and then I can weld these tops on, and I've got myself some 3-inch slammer-dammer-ding-dong layering blocks. So I'm going to bang these on now the brakes are all back together and see how low it actually is, and hopefully not going to end up with the wheels scrubbing on the arches. We shall see. Right, so as you know, I wasn't too happy with the width of the 6J steels I got off of Matt, so I punted it out there to see if anyone had some 7Js that I could swap, and there was a guy, one of my followers, Mark, who said, yeah, sure, I'll meet you up with you, and we did a straight swap for 2 6s, and he gave me 2 7s, so that gave me these bad boys, which have got a lot more dish to them. However, the more I looked into it, and I was watching some of the Retro Ford videos, I'm aware that they've now changed these smoothie centers to have all of the pressed bits that the original wheels had. And it just popped up on eBay a set of 2 7s with the new pressed centers for cheap. So I bought them. Me and Lawrence banged some tyres on manually. Well, I say that, Lawrence in his bare hands managed to hoon them on. And then we've got these, which look instantly much better because they got the right press center. And I was talking about getting 6s for the front, but I think I'm going to go for 7s on the front. And I know they fit all right at the moment with the standard legs, but once I get the wider legs with the Mark II Cortina stuff, I'm just going to have to make the 7s fit because the 6s just look too skinny. So yeah, now the stance of this thing is looking where it needs to be. Hang on, let me close the door. It's looking where it needs to be, boys. There's the badger. So that's it with the steels on. Front for now, I definitely haven't gibboed the front up and cut the springs, honest. I'm gonna get it outside, give it a quick wash over, polish it up, and we'll see what it looks like with the new stance. But definitely those wheels were the right choice. What is the South London look, I hear you ask? It's subtle, clean bodywork, lowered stance, specific wheel choice. Usually a 13-inch wheel, and it's got to be kind of period correct. Interior is often kept tiny, functional, and paint finishes are frequently in a solid, often pastel shades. This look is considered a scene within itself and has experienced a resurgence in popularity in the recent years. Usually comes hand in hand with some performance-orientated engineering. I need you guys to let me know what engine you think this thing should have. Stick with a 997 or go for more power. I want to keep the full interior. I have got a mint passenger seat, and I don't know how easy it's going to be to re-trim or recover a passenger seat cover onto a driver's seat to deal with the one out top there. I want to try and get the radio up and running again because I flipped it over to a negative earth, and that's it for the interior. I want to keep everything as it is. I do want to sort out the seat belts because these are as much use as a cock-flavoured lollipop. But I say for now, I think I'm just going to get this up and running again, sort the suspension, order up a rack conversion, World Cup cross member, decent brakes, and just cruise it around for the summer is the plan. But yeah, this one's a keeper. I've got loads of little moody repairs to go through, patch, repair anything that needs doing. Jacking points are a little bit iffy. And yeah, just give it a good once over and just, yeah, enjoy it. It's such a cool little car. Good to get it out again. Obviously with the Fiesta, looking a bit sorry for itself tucked in the corner there. I have got some new splits that I've been playing around with. I want to rebuild some new splits with into 13s. I'm just trying to work out all the offsets because it's really wide on the front and quite narrow on the back. I don't really like running spaces. I want to get this back up and running. I want to get some sticky tyres on it. I want to go do some more track days. That is the plan. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video. I thought I'd give you a little update. I know it's been quiet. I've had a hell of a lot going on with work and sorting out the kitchen at the house, and obviously just looking after little people. General life stuff does get in the way. I do want to crack on with doing some more videos. Lawrence's Escort is all being done up, having it all repainted, so you'll see an update in that. Yeah, if we can hit some more shows, hit some more track days, and work on this, do some bits on the Fiesta, it's going to be some good content. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe. That's pretty much it for this video. Until next time, I'll catch up with you guys later. Take it easy.